Okay. Mic check 1 2 1 2. It's the Y2K Collector coming at you with a nostalgic rush on a Tuesday. Tonight we're soaring through the skies in the R-Type universe. And the R-Type franchise has always been one of my favorite franchises. In fact, I have the Super R-Type game. I have R-Type 3. I've got R-Type Dimensions on the Nintendo Switch, and I even have R-Type on the Game Boy Advance. But my favorite R-Type game of all time is definitely going to be R-Type Delta on the PlayStation 1. And if you've never played that one, definitely give it a try. It's definitely worth a shot. They continued the R-Type franchise on the PlayStation 2 with the R-Type Final entry. And then, of course, we got R-Type Final 2 not that long ago on the PlayStation 1 and the Nintendo Switch. And both of those games, or rather the R-Type Final 2 game, I think, in my opinion, was definitely a solid entry into the franchise. I don't know if it was as well received as R-Type Delta. That seems to be the cult classic, the cult favorite. But I think they're all great games. They're great shoot 'em ups. They're not the bullet hell, fast-paced shoot 'em up that you might think about whenever you do think about shoot 'em ups. They're very slow-paced, very deliberate, very calculated, and they're just that type of shoot 'em up game where you kind of have to just memorize the boards, memorize the bosses, and kind of know how to kind of just navigate your way through. So definitely enjoying a good run in R-Type or Super R-Type. But tonight I wanted to talk about something that I think is being lost, and I don't know if I'm completely off on this. So I love bringing these questions and these thoughts to the community to see what you guys think. And earlier today I was watching the Olympics, and then I wanted to get some gaming in, and I just I started thinking about watching the Olympics as a kid and just some of the nostalgia that brought me. And I kind of relate some of that nostalgia that I felt as a kid and that time to the nostalgia that I felt even playing the video games of that time. And we're talking about the 90s, right? So we're talking about a time with like Jackie Joyner-Kersee and I'm just trying to think of the Dream Team with Jordan, Barkley, Bird, right? I'm just thinking about the 90s and at that time, and there was a feeling that you got from watching the Olympic Games, from listening to the music of the 90s, and from playing the games of the 90s. And I think it's because whenever you got a game or you got something, you kind of stuck with it. You played it for a time, you got to enjoy it. It wasn't as fast paced, and I don't think people were over certain things as quickly as they are today. I feel like today, with a lot of the content and a lot of I didn't have to die right there. That I could have definitely dodged that bullet. But I feel like with a lot of the content that we get today, right, with a lot of the media that we get today, with a lot of what goes on, and with the power of the internet, I feel like we're not able to sit with moments in time, right? Significant moments in time, whether it be a movie release, whether it be an album release, whether it be a video game release. I just don't feel like we get to sit with that content for long enough for it to become a moment in our lives. And we have rare exceptions of this. Like, we have rare moments where we have an artist or a video game or just an event that encapsulates a time in our lives. We rarely get that anymore. And usually when we do get that, it's usually from an artist that is like an old soul, or is very reminiscent of a time back in the day. Or it's usually done with a game that has this built-in kind of nostalgia factor to it. Let me give you an example. So there's plenty of music that has been released this summer all types of music, all types of artists and things like that. And I'm a fan of all types of music. But I definitely love hip hop. And we haven't seen a moment in hip hop like we've seen most recently with the feud between Kendrick Lamar and Drake. And I think that the song that Kendrick Lamar released earlier this year, Not Like Us, Not Like Us literally became the soundtrack to the summer of 2024. I think if you're a young person, whether you're a young person or an old person, Not Like Us has encapsulated this summer. It's, from now on, whenever you hear Not Like Us, you're going to think about what you were doing the summer of 2024. You're going to be thinking about, where you were when you first heard the song. You're going to be thinking about just everything involved with it. And you've got people who are probably playing video games listening to Not Like Us, working out to Not Like Us, going to parties and listening to Not Like Us. So, whenever you have a moment like that, it just really tends to encapsulate a time in your life. And I feel like the younger you are, the more of an impression that has on you, and the more nostalgia it builds into that time in your life. And so I think it's just very interesting that we saw that. But when it comes to video games, I can't think of the last video game that I've played that kind of did that. The last game that we've seen that kind of, just encapsulated a moment or a time in my life. And granted, I'm older, so I don't have I don't have the time to play, video games as much as I used to. And I don't spend a lot of my free time, as much as I would like to, playing video games. I just haven't had that moment with a game like I had it when I was a kid. And again, a lot of this could just be because I'm an adult, and I don't have the time to sit with a game long enough for it to impact this time in my life. But I'm interested to hear from the Y2K community and see what you all think. Do you think that nostalgia is dead, or is it dying? Or do you think that we still have moments, whether it be moments in gaming, moments in music or movies, that encapsulate a time period in our lives? I'm really, really interested to know what you all think, because part of me feels this way, but then every once in a while we get a piece of media, we get a movie, we get some music that that reminds me that, those moments are still around, whether they be few and far between. Another example would be the Wolverine and Deadpool movie. Now, I have not gone to see that movie yet. I've heard really good things about it. I've heard that it's a really great movie, but that movie has broken records. And I'm sure that, a lot of people are going to reference the summer of 2024 using that film, and kind of just referencing the impact that it had on them, because from what I understand, it's a really, really good film. It's a really good movie. And so, we still, I guess, have those moments every once in a while. Although I think there's a reason for the Deadpool Wolverine movie having such a big impact. And I think part of that is just because we haven't really gotten a really good movie from the MCU in a long time, or from Marvel for that matter, in a really long time. I don't think we've had like a blockbuster film delivered by them in a really long time. So I think we were long overdue for something like a Wolverine Deadpool, which I'm glad that we got. But I think what's really going to take us to the next level is the next Avengers film that's coming out, where Robert Downey Jr. is starring as Dr. Doom rather. Sorry. So I guess we still have those moments. They're just so few and far between that I don't know if they sit with us the way the memories from back in the day do. But again, I could just be someone who's getting old, remembering a different time in pop culture, and just not really taking enough time to appreciate what we have going on right now. But you all let me know down in the comments. I'm interested to know what you think. Is nostalgia dead? Have we seen the best nostalgic eras or decades? Was it the 80s for you? Was it the 90s for you? Was it the early 2000s or is it now? I'm interested to know your thoughts. It's the Y2K Collector getting blasted out the sky. Take it easy.